Hi people, this is Yarrabee Maestro. Been in the paddock for I don't know how long. The first time he's been out, so he's a bit more interested in having a bit of grass and doing what I'm doing. He's pretty quiet. He's my horse. What I want to show you about here is that catching him first, he's thinking about what I'm doing, but he's not really interested because I haven't shown a lot of interest in what I'm trying to do. So as a result, he'll wander off and do his own thing. When I want to get serious about what I'm actually trying to do, that is catch him at this time, the first thing you need to do, get your gear ready of course. None of this hiding behind the back or anything else. Let him know exactly what you're going to do. Put him in the paddock so you can see him. And then walk up to him like you mean business. Cool. Give him a pat, you're not going to hurt him. Put the head rope over his shoulder. I now have control. Slip the noseband on. Do up your head rope. And clip your halter on. What's happened there is I've done that whole procedure and stayed in his sight. If I want to, an audience here giving a bit of strife. If I come at the front and do the same thing, if you can imagine yourself, putting the hand up, waving things over the top of his head, he has ropes coming in and out of his vision all the time. And that, although he's used to it, a lot of horses will spook. So now I've given him a tug. He knows that I have control. I'm in charge, not him. He thinks I'm bigger than he is. He thinks I'm stronger. It's all a game of bluff, but while he thinks that, everything's all cool. If, however, he gets it in his mind that he's actually going to bash me up or something like that, of course he can. There's a lot of animal here. I don't know what he would weigh. Standing looking at him, he'd probably be 1,200–1,400 pounds. And that standing on your foot or knocking you over will hurt. The gear I'm using here is a training halter. It's fairly thin. It has knots in the right place, the sensitive spots on the nose, and it's fitted correctly. You'll notice here that anywhere in the halter I can get my fingers under, the whole hand under, so it's not too tight. But the thing is, if he pulls back, the nose rope is above the tender part of the nose, which hurts. Very important you fit it properly. You see here on this side I've put a half hitch on the top and bent this top loop over. In the event of him pulling back, by bending that forward like that, it'll allow me to undo the rope. The lead rope in this instance is probably about 6 or 8 foot long. It's thick enough that I have a good hand grip on it, very strong buckle on it. If something happens, the last thing I want to do is break the gear. The rope's easier than my hand, as I said. I can walk around and move from him, and he'll stay and hopefully just watch what I'm doing. It doesn't really matter where I'm standing or what I'm doing. I haven't asked him to do anything, but he's certainly aware that I'm here. I have 3 well done spots. The well done spot is simply where I can release him from a job. This one here between the eyes is a blind spot. It's a common one. He will often offer it to me. Has he done right? The second one is on the wither. That's for when you're on the saddle. Anywhere here you'll see a natural instinct of horses to look after each other. They'll give themselves a pat. The other one, of course, is on the bottom, just here. When you're on the horse, you can reach behind the saddle and touch him here. So you can see he's quite happy with that. He's looking and saying, well, that's pretty good. He's been released, he hasn't done anything, so he thinks he's pretty cool. Hasn't been brushed either, straight out of the paddock. To handle a horse, I want him nice and quiet. I want him to follow me with very little weight. I want the loop and the weight in that halter being sufficient to follow me whatever I do, wherever I go. If I stop, I want him to stop. If I walk off, I want him to follow. There's nothing particular in that other than the fact that if we're in the bush, I want him to follow me exactly my movements. If I stumble here, I want him to stop. If I need to stop and step over something, I need him to follow the same path. Of course, you can, of course, lead him beside. Oh boy. He's not so keen at that. Hasn't done it as often. But it doesn't mean that he won't. If we stop here, and he's quite happy to come up here, he's in my space. He knows he's in my space, and he's quite happy to be there. I've given him permission. If I choose to park him or put him away somewhere where I'm trying to do something that is annoying, I'll simply put him away. And he'll quite happily stand there until I tell him to come forward, most times. As long as he's taking notice of what I'm actually doing. These two foals out the back here are not helping a lot. Bit of distraction. If I want him to come forward again, I'll ask him. Well, I park him any place I want, as close as I want. Come on. Come on. I don't want to be in the position where I have to drag him or fight him. I can park him again, send him out, and he'll stand there. If I want to reinforce that movement, I can lift my lights, get nice and strong, big, and you'll see his head's gone up and he's looking, wow, this bloke means business this time. Now he's waiting there and he'll stay there until I ask him forward again.